behalf of Envision Greater Fond du Lac, my name is Joe Benheisen. I'm sitting here with Sam Kaufman, candidate for Fond du Lac County Executive.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks for being here.
Just a few questions for you to get us to help to understand who you are, what you're all about.
Sure.
First off, the big one. This is a big office, and you've got some really big shoes to fill. So we have known nothing but Alan J. Beekle for a long time in this seat. So how do you go about taking this position and making it your own and putting your own stamp on Fond du Lac County Executive?
Well, filling the shoes itself, it can't be done. Alan Beekle is somebody that's been part of our county government for 28, 29 years now as county exec, and 17 years prior to that as a county board supervisor. It is impossible to even think about filling those shoes, and I wouldn't even dare try to. What I would do instead is basically go through and learn, take what I've learned from Alan over the years of knowing him and carry that forward to become the county executive that I believe I would be. Alan, what I always loved about Alan was he would go through, and he always taught me that in good government you partner with the remaining local governments to accomplish what needs to be done for the benefit of the county as a whole. And even though I represent one district, I've always taken that seriously in that on county board matters when we would go through and have a discussion as to what might impact the city of Ripon, for example, or the village of Oakfield, or the city of LaPont. We would always go through and look at it from a bipartisan approach in a nonpartisan manner to try and figure out what was best for the county. A good example of that is the RET law. When we went through and did the RET law project to provide funding to assist them in that, there were some on the county board that were a little hesitant because it was a city of Fond du Lac matter. But when we looked at that and followed along with what Alan always looked at, we thought, what's in the best interest of the county as a whole, though? You know, we knew that by renovating or assisting in the renovation of the RET law, it was not only going to benefit the city of Fond du Lac, but really the county as a whole, because we might have people then coming to the city of Fond du Lac who might go into LaPont, for example, to see the Horicon Marsh, that might go over to Ripon to see Ripon College or the Republican home over there, or even going out to Campbellsport area, to Dundee, down by the lake. So really it's a team effort. And that was something that Alan taught me and something that I would continue to do with that type of leadership with that. But Alan will never be forgotten. His shadow will always be cast at the courthouse for years to come. And just that honor I've had of working with him on the county board, but also as treasurer of his last campaign, was something that I'll always cherish, and I will always learn from that.
So, Sam, in your opinion, what do you believe is the core identity of Fond du Lac County?
Well, the core identity, really, from an economic standpoint, is manufacturing. It really is. We are a manufacturing-based county, tied in also with agricultural matters. You know, when you look at Mercury Marine, when you look at Alliance, you know, these different companies that provide products itself are in need of labor. And one of the things I've seen here in the county itself as a manufacturing-based county, we have a shortage of labor going on right now. But not only with general labor, but specifically with regard to the trades. That's something that I feel very strongly about, that we need to be emphasizing more on our juniors and seniors in high school to develop programs to get them engaged in the trades industry and encourage them to be in the trades industry. Senator Dan Fine, I know that's a passion of his, and it's something I'm looking forward to working with him on to develop some type of programs through apprenticeship programs, partnering with our industries here to try and go through and keep them in the trades industry, but also to keep them living here in Fond du Lac County. You know, when we talk about the core identity of a county, it's easy to say economically it is, you know, manufacturing and agricultural. But really, to me, besides that part of it, is a general identity of the county. It's really our families. When you think about the families that come to Fond du Lac County and call this home, that were raised here, that want to stay here, you know, we need to provide good jobs for them. We need to provide recreational opportunities. We have some beautiful parks here in the county that we need to maintain. And that helps maintain those families because they want to be part of that. How many of us have taken a walk out in the Hobbs Woods with our families, taken photographs out there? It's a nice, quiet time to be out there. And those are the types of parks we need to cherish with it. But we also have to have, you know, and recognize that our younger generation wants something to keep them here. There has to be social events that also that take place here. I would love to someday actually go through and see renovations done at the fairgrounds. I would love to see a convention center here in Fond du Lac to bring in the types of businesses or events that would take place. I mean, when you think about Fond du Lac County geographically, we are in a fantastic center location between Green Bay and Milwaukee. The opportunity to be able to have a convention center, for example, to draw the type of events that we would draw people from those two cities itself would be an economic boom for our county, plus the hotel business. Wisconsin County Association is an organization statewide that we hold conventions every year. Typically they're in La Crosse or Wisconsin Dells. I would love to see them come here to Fond du Lac County and we would benefit from that. But we have to explore those opportunities and see what's available to make that happen. And I think by doing that, you get the younger generations thinking, I want to stay here in Fond du Lac County because this is where I want to work. We provide good jobs, we have good opportunities for recreation, and we have opportunities for us socially to do things instead of running up to Green Bay or down to Milwaukee with regard to that. And so to me, that really is it. And Fond du Lac County, living here has taught me one thing too, is that we are hardworking people. We believe in a handshake. We still believe that we can be honest with each other, and we still want to help our neighbor. And that's really who we are. And I think that that's something that we will always maintain because deep down, that really is the root of who we are as a county.
So tell us about, typically in a political campaign, there's a lot of conversation about your first 100 days. Let's just talk about your first year, let's say. What can we expect from you hitting the ground running in this office? What is the first early stages of your leadership as county executive look like? What can the business community, the Envision membership, and the community at large expect?
In the first 100 days itself, what I anticipate that I'd be doing is a review of all departments. One of the things that I think we need to make sure we're doing is running departments that are running efficiently, that we are providing the proper services, and they're not being overlapped by other departments. One of the concerns I've always had is regard to Department of Aging, Social Services. What services are we providing to our aging community? Are we doing enough for them? When it comes to foster care homes, for example, a lot of people don't realize we have a shortage of foster homes. Our home is a licensed foster home. We have a 12-year-old son that we adopted last year after he resided in our home for 2.5 years. And it was an exposure we had to the entire system that I think is flawed. And I think it's something we need to work on as a county. So those are the areas I would be reviewing. Economically, I'm going to be looking to continue that partnership with Envision. They've been a fantastic asset to our county. When we talk about the labor shortage, for example, one of the programs I believe Jim Cleveland came up with was the Relocation Assistance Program. That's something I'm very supportive of, and I would look for the county to continue that partnership to try and get individuals to move into the county to help with our labor issue, but also to keep them here in the county. So after a while, they don't leave itself. I want them to know this is a community they can be part of with it. But department reviews are probably going to be the biggest ones. The other issue is going to be the ARPA funds. The American Recovery Plan Act went through, and we had been designated millions of dollars in Fond du Lac County to be allocated for appropriate uses that fall into the categories. And we have about $13 million right now that needs to be allocated. That was not done prior to Alan's death. That we need to review itself, and that's one of the things I would be looking at. I know that the county, through interim county executive Aaron Jarrett, who is doing a wonderful job, has been getting requests already, and I anticipate that if I am county executive, I will need to review those right away to make sure that we are not letting those applications drop and making a determination as to which ones would be best serve the interest of the county as a whole.
Sam, thank you very much.
Thanks
for sharing your time.
I appreciate it.
Pleasure
I really
talking
do.
with you.
You too. Thank you.